And welcome back to Chasin the Racin.
Welcome back to Chasin the Racin. Another episode of me, so sorry guys. And joining me is Christian Iddon.
Yeah,
back
sorry,
again.
another one for me as well, so sorry again guys, even worse.
And thanks to our partners OMG and JCT Truck and Trailer Rental for continued support and being part of the podcast. Joined today by Danny Webb.
Nice to see you again.
I want to say welcome back, but I obviously wasn't in this position. We had a look when you last came on. It was December 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're nearly 18th of December. And we're now in
2025. Oh, nearly 5 years ago then.
Yeah, nearly bang on.
Well, this will be out in December, so it'll be 5 years.
Yeah.
So, a bit gone on,
in
mate.
5 years, mate.
You still look about 13.
I don't feel it. Trust me, I don't feel it.
And if we'd have pressed record about 5 minutes ago, we were talking about children's TV programs.
A lot has changed.
Yeah.
We were, the three of us, just talking about what our favourite kids' TV programme was.
It was riveting, to be honest with you. We should have recorded it.
Yeah. It was a good conversation, wasn't it?
Well, we all got passionate about it, didn't we?
To be fair, actually, from family life, you've got married, had a kid, a lot has gone on outside of racing in your personal life. And
same for you as well. Like, what year was we teammates in World Endurance?
We rode.
Was it
So me, Danny, and Emlav.
2018, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus, that was a while ago.
Yeah, did Le Mans together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who was that for?
For
Pens.
Pens 13.
Yeah.
You were riding for them at the TT then, weren't you?
Yeah.
You did a fair stint with the Pens team, didn't you?
Or were you doing the IRRC with them?
What year was that? 2018. Yeah, that was the year I done IRRC with him. Yeah.
Danny, in that race, had a shoulder that didn't like to stay in place, didn't you? And you crashed on the second or third stint. It was quite a way in, and then the thing kept popping out, didn't it?
Christian said, double stint. He coming from that double stint, he went, not doing that again. So I slipped off and my shoulder popped out, and as I was picking the bike up, my shoulder went back in, and I thought, I'll try and finish my stint, because the last thing you want to do is let the boys down. So I finished a stint. I said, look, someone's going to have to double stint here just while I get a bit of work done on my shoulder. And it was all right after that, but it wasn't ideal. But we ended up on the podium, didn't we?
Yeah, it was mega.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Fastest team ever, mate.
Did you? Yeah, fair play.
It was an insane. That was my first ever endurance experience, so it was pretty. It was sick, to be fair. I loved it.
Was it dry?
It was mega. Yeah.
I loved it after it was finished.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I didn't love it that much at the time, but
Fucking hell.
it was pretty cool.
A dry Le Mans, mate, in April.
Mate, I've got PTSD about Le Mans from this year. I don't know. You need to. I think you should. Well, what's happened in the last 5 years? Other than being a dad and everything else away, where have you been?
Oh, mate, now you're asking.
When you was last on, had you not just finished your first season in World Supersport?
Was it this? Was it
with WRP?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. So I just finished that. 2021 went back in World Supersport with them.
Because was that connection through the Pens lot? Or not?
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah. So Weeple was the main sponsor of the Pens team.
Yeah.
And then he come to me about going World Supersport. So it was basically setting stuff up from scratch. And then I messaged JT to see if he wanted to be involved, and he wanted, so he got involved. We set it up with Ludek, who's the main guy behind Weeple Racing Parts, and went from there. First year, I don't know where we finished in the championship. I think 11th maybe. End of the year, top fives, like we was there or thereabouts. And then going into the second year, JT wasn't there, but I had a bad crash at the beginning of the year, broke my wrist real bad, and it just went from bad to worse from there, really. And we split halfway through the year because when they'd done the operation on my wrist, it squashed all my tendons and ligaments and all sorts, so I couldn't use my wrist properly. I couldn't ride properly. So ultimately I wasn't getting the results they wanted. And then, we split. So that was the end of that. And then I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, should I hang my levers up? And then what they call Wojciech Racing come to me, said would I be interested in riding their endurance bike, and I thought I'll give it a shot. You see if I start enjoying my racing again, and I did, and I've not looked back since. Like, just I enjoy endurance because there's a bit less pressure. You can do, it's 4 rounds a year. You can do other stuff around it, what you want to do. So yeah, that's what I went and done that, and started doing some things what I wanted to do myself.
With the endurance job, because I always bang on about it, because it's like you find a paddock that you didn't think was there, that's very, very different to a lot of other paddocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're one of the few that's been in Grand Prix, World Championship, international roads, TT, British Championship.
Yeah, I was going to say, made your BSB debut, didn't you, this year?
Yeah. Ended badly.
Yeah, but you did.
Still a debut.
you did BSB 125s, so you've been in that paddock, haven't you?
Yeah.
Were you UK1 back in?
Yeah, I didn't race, so I only done like the Friday practices because we had to put 24 kilos of weight on the bike.
Right.
Now they've changed the rules because you can only put
24 kilos.
Yeah, 24 kilos of
Do you
weight
not remember him
on a
when he was that
125.
His helmet.
Well, they probably had to put 24 kilos on it now if he went back to it, to be fair.
Well, now they've made a rule where I don't know if it's either 10 kilos or 7 kilos
like
is
the
maximum.
Yeah.
Because 24 was just... I mean, I crashed at Thruxton round church. It seized up on me going round church. And it come back and the big bit of weight we had on the bike was missing. And my dad was just like, nah. Like, if that would have hit you, like, that would have done some serious damage. So
was it on as one...
No,
single lump, mate, or was it in separate lumps?
Everywhere, yeah. We struggled to put it on, and the bike didn't work. It's not designed
for
to.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, so yeah, we didn't actually end up racing.
But you've been in that paddock. You've been around that because your brother raced in it, didn't he, as well? So and then. But had you? So what was your first experience in EWC then? Of that paddock and that? Was it you? 2018?
2017. So I crashed at the TT.
You and me were in the hospital together in 2017.
We were. 2017. I'd done 4 vertebrae and dislocated my shoulder. And then I got back for the Classic TT. And then Penn's had got a new sponsor on board because I was with them at the TT. They got a new sponsor on board for World Endurance because that's where they come from. And then they needed a rider. They didn't really have one. And Alex Polita said, well, like, you got Danny. Like, why don't you put Danny on it? And they went, but, he's not really a big bike rider. And I just said, look, I'll just pay my expenses. I'll come and just give me a shot. So they give me a shot. And I can't remember what lap times we was doing anyway. They weren't too bad. And it was me, Reitenberger, and Alex Polita. And we finished second. In the superbike class as well.
Wow.
So yeah, it was like there was a few DNFs in that, so I mean you're never giving it in endurance because you know what it's like, but yeah, we ended up second, so that sort of got the ball rolling in world endurance. So.
How much do you think that championships evolved from 2017 to now?
Oh, it's massive now.
Yeah
because
we were talking I had a bit of a disagreement with my guys because they're of where their expectations are that they should be with the mad front end. And I said, yeah, but where you guys were and where you were capable of running in 2018, because they said, we were 7th in 2018 around Le Mans, we were running in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's not achievable now.
Yeah.
It's not, you didn't have what the competition now is. It's attracting, well, Mark VDS is in there, isn't he?
Yeah. Of all those series, it's probably the most rapidly evolving championships of all the championships that's currently going. I think MotoGP or GP Paddock's about to go through a big transition with Liberty Media and all that, but I think World Endurance at the moment has really gone through a massive step forward in promotion, but also in how they work in the championship. They've just brought in the production class and they try and jog on a few more entries.
What was there at Le Mans? 3 or 4 in that production class?
I thought there'd be loads of that, and there wasn't.
Well, at the Ball d'Or, there was a 10.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Because AIM 90, Moto AIM, they started in stock and they ended up in that production class at the end of the year. And just good to see. But going back to your point, when you say you were getting to the point of thinking, hang the leathers up.
Yeah.
Is that the only paddock that you think could have rejuvenated the passion to keep racing?
Yeah.
Because it's a different...
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to people as well, it's a different way of racing, isn't it? It's not that cutthroat, right, everybody's your enemy.
Yeah.
you're in with a Polish team where they have a certain culture as well, where they properly enjoy their racing, don't they?
Oh, they love it.
Like,
Yeah, they love it. Yeah.
Number one rule is let's all have a bit of a laugh and a few vodkas, and
Oh, mate,
that's
like they've
they
got,
do though, don't they?
you probably would have you probably would have seen it on the back of the truck. They've got a massive photo of a woman with her things out, right?
It's just a big
What
plate.
things?
And things. Well, you never know these days, do you? So they got offered a sponsor, and they said, "But you need to take that off," and he went, "No." So kept it on there.
And didn't get the sponsorship.
Because he wanted to keep that photo on the back of the truck.
I texted him after the race at the Ball d'Or because ours blew up and his blew up as well.
Yeah.
And I texted him and I said, we're out the race. I can't remember what I texted you about. Something. I says, I'll catch up with you. And he says, yeah, the fucking Polish have got me on the local stuff. They're trying to get me on the local stuff. And I was, he was like, were you bent in half?
Oh, no, because I've learnt my lesson. Like
With
I've
them
done
boys?
it, not with them, but like I've tried the Czech stuff, and like I was polite, went like that, put it on my lips, but that's it, because I know where it ends. Like, yeah, their stuff is lethal, but like great bunch of guys, and even though the race was disappointing, yeah, to be fair, throughout this year it's been a difficult year, but they've their heart's in the right place, and I actually enjoy going motorbike racing with them. So yeah, we'll see what happens next year.
It is really weird, the endurance thing. Like, I still struggle with it. I loved it, but I still seeing it. For example, with you and Michael, you're like, I watch you doing your stints or practicing qualifying. I'm like, I want to cheer you on, but also I don't want you to go too fast because I still want to be the best. If you know what I mean, you're like, I wasn't ready to let go fully of that whole like.
You're not programmed yet. No, you're not programmed.
But it's strange because throughout all of racing, it's not a one-man sport because it's a whole team around you, but it's a one-man in terms of one man on the bike at that time. And you might have a stablemate, a teammate, but they're not a teammate as they are in World Endurance, I really struggled with it.
Yeah.
It was so different that I really struggled with it.
No, I get that, but like, it's like me. Of course, you as a rider, you always want to be the quickest one,
Yeah.
right? But now, I think I'm a bit older. I've matured a bit more, and I'm like, well, in endurance, you need to go to the level, and if you need to go out of that comfort zone, you're better off not. You know, even if you're faster than your teammate or not, you're better off just going, I'm a couple of temps off him. It don't matter. The most important thing is just staying on the bike and doing laps and sort of riding within that comfort zone. But the problem is, like you were saying about the championship evolving now, the level's gone another higher. Like, it's gone a step higher, and they are
qualifying is
I was just going to bring qualifying up
ridiculous
because
times.
It's as much as everyone in that paddock has obviously got their head round, which I couldn't, working as a team. If you watch them qualifying sessions,
they're incredible.
It is 10 tenths and a bit. It's no different to doing a BSB qualifying or to doing a World Superbike qualifying. They are absolutely on the limit.
They're doing it from lap one.
Yeah,
It's a 20-minute window for your group, but those top four, top five, from lap one, they are. It's incredible.
I think the biggest difference with that is they can do that, whereas people with less budget, they're a little bit like, if I wreck this bike now, this is the bike we want to race on. Whereas they can wreck a bike and they can build another factory bike.
Because it's such a weird thing, isn't it? You've got 20. Most of them are 24. Was it 2.8s and 2.24s?
2.8s and 2.24s.
Yeah. So, but anyway, qualifying's kind of irrelevant, really. You could do a pit lane start, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, would it? To risk that much, to put that much on the line, yes, I think you get a point, don't you, or something like that, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
But it's a lot of risk for...
Yeah.
There was...
what I was getting at was there's still a lot of rider pride involved in that.
Oh, yeah,
because
100%.
The point is almost irrelevant, or the 2 points, but the rider pride is still massive. I guess it's the only time in endurance racing you get to show you on your own how actually fast you are.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time it is masked by I'm doing a stint, or I'm doing you're always in traffic, or you're always something.
But I mean, like, look at Linny. Linny's a great example. He'd done a great job in Suzuka for The Japanese
it was,
team,
the
auto race team,
Auto Uber.
Yeah.
and that then give him the leap up to the factory team, like, and that's give him almost another career, like, and it's great. Like you can get them opportunities, mainly Suzuka, but you can still get them opportunities, and I enjoy going racing that way. And it's 4 weekends a year. You still need to stay fit. You still got something to focus on, but on the other side of things, you can do other things. So,
do you think you have to get to a certain point in your career before you can accept, like, what Christian's saying about that competitive side of you, because you're still in sprint race mode?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you have to get to a certain point in your career where you go, racing needs to change?
Yeah,
for me to enjoy this, it's got to change. The dynamic of it has to change.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it has for Dan.
Yeah.
I think Dan's been able to go, do you know what, I'm that fucking sick of this now. It either has to change or I'm not bothered about racing.
Yeah.
And like you say, it gave him that perfect opportunity to kind of revitalise the job again, and goes and wins the world championship first time out.
Do you think that we just said how much it's evolved and how much it's moved forwards? I think even from when I raced with you in that team in 2018 or whatever we said was 17 or 18, I can distinctly remember that from sunrise onwards, it was very much a case of just like getting it home.
Yeah.
Now I watch a lot of the live time, and I love to watch endurance on live timing because I'm a bit of a geek like that, and I can almost see more from live timing than you can from watching it on telly.
Yeah.
But it is basically just, from what I can see now, it's just every rider's doing a sprint race anyway, a full tank sprint race, shall we say, for each of their stints. Like, do you think the gap seems to have closed up a lot?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Now, before it used to be like, if you're within 2 seconds, roughly each lap or whatever, so you could have a little bit of a break now and again. But now it's just like you're coming up to people and you're just like sort of holding your breath, passing them, and because you need every lap to be within a second, traffic or no traffic.
Yeah.
And it has got to that point, especially for the factory boys. I mean, last year, I think it was last year, not the season just gone, the season before, Yacht and Suzuki, I don't know if TSR were, but anyway, they was on the podium every single race.
Yeah.
They finished every single race, and that's like almost unheard of, of an endurance team finishing every single race, and not just every single race, on the podium. So like that's like sprint racing. Whoever got the better results won, and I know that's what everyone, but they didn't have one breakdown. All right, some of them might have slipped off now and again, but there was no major issues with them.
I think it was the Bowl that I watched this year on live time. I'm pretty sure it was the Bowl, and I can't remember what BSB round I was at, but I was watching it for about 2 hours before I was in bed watching it, like just couldn't turn it off. And I think it was Cert that were behind Yacht or one of them, not sure. And there was a minute. I know they were on the same lap. And you can really see the times fluctuate. And I woke up 7 or 8 hours later, and I reckon there was 10 seconds difference. And I actually thought, screen's not refreshed here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been asleep for 7 hours.
It's got to be different. Yeah.
It's closed up massively now, but it's great. I love it. Like you're away for a week. There's a lot of preparation involved, but it's just a nice way to go race. A little bit less pressure. Like when it's just like you said, it's not just you because you've got a full team around you. But when that result is solely on you, you put so much pressure on yourself as a rider. But in endurance, as long as you go out there, you tick your laps off, you do a solid stint, you sort of have an aim for a lap time, and you're there or thereabouts. You come in, you go, that's a solid stint. You're not like, right, I need to get in front of this guy, or I need to beat this guy. You just sort of go out there with a different mindset. So yeah.
Well, you can afford to have a couple of shitty laps in traffic.
Yeah.
And that it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
If I have 2 laps in traffic, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Whereas you get stuck behind a back marker in a sprint race.
Yeah, that's it. You're done. Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
So are you signed up for next year, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we're going to go again with them. Same like LRP Poland. So same again. And then Daytona 200 in March again. So yeah.
And you've just been out there, haven't you? Just doing a bit of a test?
Yeah, done a test in October. It was at an ASRA, like a club meeting, but it's the only other time you can ride there. So we decided to sort of fly everything out early and just leave it out there. Next year is going to go Dunlops. We run Pirellis earlier in March. So we went with the Dunlops and we'd done a bit of testing, and luckily we did, because we had to change the bike quite a bit.
Do you prefer them, or do you prefer your Pirellis?
To be fair, in the end, when we got the bike balance there, there wasn't much in it. But because Daytona, they have a hard compound anyway, even in the Pirelli, because of the banking.
Are they dual compound tyres or not?
Yeah. So you have to, the left-hand side's just rock solid.
Oh, is it? I actually thought the centre might be different. But it's
the centre's a little bit different, but the right-hand side's like your average, your normal tyre. But yeah, there wasn't much difference in them. The Dunlops were your typical Dunlops. You know, they stayed the same pretty much throughout. So yeah, it's good. It's definitely worth going. Definitely worth going. We had a data guy out there as well, which was helpful, and left there quite confident. So see what happens in March.
Staying on the 750,
classic Suzuki.
Yeah.
Classic Suzuki. So
with the legend that is Steve Wheatman.
Oh mate, honestly,
big shout out to Steve Wheatman, because he is a rare boy. There's not many folks left in racing like Steve who quietly go about. Doesn't want any attention, does he? Just
a genuine guy. And if anyone sees any classic Suzukis out there, like 500s or Steve's, they've either been through Steve's hands, or 9 times out of 10 they're prepared by his guys, and they're a work of art, and they're still running motorbikes as well. So he's a good bloke.
Yeah, good. Nice sound.
I owe him a lot, to be fair. So
well, he owns all the Barry Sheen bikes, doesn't he? Or most of the Sheen bikes that you see being paraded. Yeah, and he's got Schwantz's 500 Grand Prix bike. Yeah. Just sat there, we'll give it a run out. Yeah,
as you do.
Yeah, but he's good friends with.
He's just passionate.
He's good friends with Kevin as well.
Yeah,
right.
And you know but he's so unassuming, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's not like a load of bravado and I've got all these bikes. It's just like there's a few there, and come ride them, and he's just we just need more people like Steve.
Yeah, he's mega. He's mega. He's done a hell of a lot for me in my career, and not. He always helps me out with a bit of personal sponsorship, but more like just being able to ride some of the bikes he's let me ride, and then the classic TT, like my dad tapped Mick Grant off on his parade lap down the hill, just stuff like that. For my dad to tap one of his heroes on the back and send him off down Braille, I was like, Steve, I can never actually repay you for what you've done for me. Just their memories, and like meeting Agostini and them and because his bikes are so nice and they're collectibles, like everyone pays attention to them. So like Frankie Keeley come and rode some of his bikes, and it's just like I'm meeting my heroes and legends of the sport through Steve, really. So I can't thank him enough.
And he does everything as if he's just bought you a meal deal from Asda. Yeah. It's like, that's how big a deal it is. It's like,
good bloke.
That's cool. What was I going to ask you then? No, it's gone. That happens a lot. Yeah.
As you get older, mate. Yeah. Does happen to me a lot.
Tell him how bad Le Mans was this year. Go on.
Oh, it was horrendous.
That good, was it?
Horrendous. I mean, to be fair, I went down once, but that was my mistake. Like, there was a dry line. I went to pass someone up the inside into the chicane, the first chicane, and hit a damp patch. And I was like, oh, you twat. Because it was completely my fault. But it was like an ice skating rink. But I did find a little trick out as well. I'll tell you after, Joe. I'm not
come on, you can't leave us with that.
I can't, because if any riders are seeing this, they might be our competitors.
What did you do, miss the chicane?
So, just flat out for it, yeah.
I did, because I watched part of that, and I did see, I think it was 2 or 3 people went down behind the safety car at that chicane. That looked like absolute ice down there.
No, to be fair, I lost the front. You know, is it Garage Verge, the tight double right at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah.
I lost the front upright on the brakes instead, and I saved it. But
did you, or did it just come back?
Well, come back. Saved it. Mark Marquez did it. I was thinking in my helmet, that's all that flat tracking that is a boast. That's what's done that. But it's just pure luck. No, but in the end, I was braking in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
And I found grip.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it has worked because I might make a mistake in April, but I didn't have a moment after that. So
everywhere,
just broke in the middle of the track.
Do you think that was a rubber down thing? Because we get
I think so, yeah.
You get it a lot at
Look
like
at
Alton and stuff
Alton
like
Park
that.
into the last corner, and I thought, like where the cars break and the skid pan, so it makes it real shiny.
They leave like aluminium shavings, don't they, or metal shavings in the tarmac.
Did you notice all the yellow dust though? When it rained.
Yeah, that was from the trees over the other side. Yeah,
everywhere, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was weird because it didn't rain in qualifying, didn't rain in practice, did it? And then they do the big hoo-ha down in the city centre the day before, or a couple of days before, and loads of people started saying, forecast looks bad. And then Gintoli said to me, forecast looks fucking terrible, we're going to be in this shit. And I thought, when it's coming from him, now I'm going to start panicking, because everyone else, it could be like Chinese whispers, but, one at main man, you're like, And then it rained Saturday morning, didn't it? It just started raining Saturday morning, and it was washing. It just looked like yellow powder, didn't it?
Yeah.
Everywhere, off the back of all.
What was it?
It was black pollen.
Yeah, pollen off the trees,
But it was pooling.
Yeah.
It was weird, wasn't it?
I went over to the sidecar paddock to see Tim Reeves, and literally their bikes were covered in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely covered.
You don't think that played a part in it?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Yeah.
What, sidecars?
But Le Mans always been...
I just think about, when I think of sidecars, I just think of things that blow up,
Le Mans always been bad for the rain, though, isn't it? So, I don't know. That, and probably because it was bloody freezing as well.
It was cold.
So,
and then you got... we didn't do Spa, but you did Spa and got rained on, didn't you? Rained for half the race, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's forecast from all the race, but I think the first 3 hours were dry in the end, so...
That's only an 8 hour, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 hour, yeah. That's mega, that place. I love going there.
Magic.
That's the most incredible track I've ever had the pleasure of riding.
Did you do it when it was 24?
Yeah.
So how bad was the lighting?
First year, horrendous.
What year was the first year? Is that?
Well, last year was...
22.
Did they do 24s twice there then?
2 24 hours,
Did
they?
They
done,
I thought they only did one.
They done the first one, the lighting was horrendous, and then the second one, that I think they had the same amount of lights up, but they dotted them more on each corner so you could sort of see through it. Because before, when you come back to the pits, the fast left, you go into the fast left, and then it'd just be dark until you get to the chicane, and like you're going in there every lap, like. But in the end,
so fast.
I did the. I think it was 22 then it must have been, when I rode the Suzuki as the fourth rider, and they sent me out for maybe 10 minutes of night practice.
Yeah, of course you did, yeah.
So that was when it was. And the lighting that they had was like they didn't buy enough lights.
Yeah.
And it was almost worse that there was lights dotted around. And I can't remember the corner, but you come back down the hill, you go up the far side, do the corner that comes back on itself, then the left where you don't do the F1 left, then you came down that hill.
And
there's a really fast left, like a double apex, really long hanging thing. But as you came down that hill, which is it's fast, isn't it? 'Cause you go down the hill, there was a really bright light that was supposed to be a floodlight, but then nothing after it. So you literally felt like you could be going off a cliff on the other side. It was the most horrendous experience, and because you got this flash of light, you then couldn't focus once you went past it. It almost blinded you.
Yeah.
They got that very wrong that year.
I come in, I went, I don't know how I'm going to ride. I do not know how I'm going to do 24 hours like this.
Were you Logic that year?
Yeah.
They brought out a rule that year as well, so that an extra person could work on the bike in the pit stop, but they were only allowed to clean flies, because what they wanted was for your lights to be as good as they could, because they knew they were struggling with light, so they allowed an extra mechanic.
Did they not allow you to put extra lights on the bike as well?
Yeah,
because they admitted it was...
Yeah, but the second year they done it, it was a bit better.
Well, the second year they had
more lights.
Gintoli and half the yacht team would go out. A lot of people went and vetted it, didn't they, to say...
I mean, it's a big track to floodlight, and it's like, 8 kilometres or something?
Massive,
7.5 Ks.
It's
enormous. It is genuinely still the best track I've ever ridden.
It's one of them tracks you never get bored of. I could just keep riding round and round. It's so much fun.
Well, you have to wait a while before you get back there, don't you? That's the difference.
It's great. I love it around there. Yeah.
Then did you do Suzuka this year? Did the boys go for that or not?
Not this year, no. I didn't do Suzuka.
So expensive for the lads to go out there, isn't it?
Oh, I think it was something like 80 grand or something just for the flight, the shipping costs.
Yeah, I'd heard it was 150 to get 2 bikes and all the container.
Yeah, well, it would
there.
be. Yeah,
that's right. Which, when you're trying to fund a season already, it's.
Yeah, but to be fair, like the organisers and that do try and give you a bit of cash to help you out and whatnot. But when it's like that amount of money for one race, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
And it's only an 8 hour, so it doesn't carry full points, does it?
No.
And to throw into the mix of it, you then got all the
Japs to beat. So you're probably going to finish even further down than you were.
Then you have to weigh up: is it even worth going? Because National Motors, the stock team, they always go and do it, don't they? But then they're running.
Didn't they run some Japs? So a few teams went, but then ran, or didn't they run? Sorry, Japanese bikes and ran.
That's the best way of doing it.
Yeah,
that's definitely like having.
Find a team out there, take your fairings in your own riders.
Yeah. That's the best way of doing it.
Well, National Motors are always running like high teens. That in the European rounds, they're always near the top 10, aren't they?
Yeah.
But then in Suzuka, they're another 10 places down, aren't they?
It's so competitive, but it was better for the stock teams this year because they made it an official stock round. So all of them had to run Dunlops, whereas in the past they could run Bridgestones. The stock teams could run Bridgestones in the past, but now because they've made an official stock championship round, then they all had to run Dunlops, so it was a lot better for them.
Right.
So
it's good they keep it on the calendar because Suzuka is like
it's great.
I wouldn't say the ultimate because Le Mans and Suzuka are two very different things, aren't they? But they're ultimate in their own respects.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you say, Le Mans the one with the history, the sort of heritage attached to it, isn't it? Because it's Le Mans. But
I think for us as Europeans it is, but the weight that Suzuka brings for the Japanese factories and for all
it's Honda's track, isn't it?
Well, it's immense. It's absolutely massive. And as a rider, actually, if you have a good stint at Suzuka, you can.
Yeah.
You're basically in there for life, more or less, for doing a good job there.
Yeah, you get noticed, don't you, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that Taron still gets messages now after he rode. When did he ride for Yamaha there? 2 years ago? Or did he ride for, who did
Taz Mack?
Yeah.
TSR, wasn't it?
It was TSR, sorry, yeah. And then
he was fast though.
He what?
That qualifying lap he was on, that was impressive.
Yeah. Well, he said when we caught up with him earlier on in the year, he says, I keep getting asked if I want to do Ball d'Or and go endurance racing now. He says, but I'm not ready for it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But he's gone to Suzuka. He's done one qualifying and he did one stint in the race, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's got an endurance career if he wants it because they've seen him there and seen what he's done, you know. And it'd be a factory ride with a Japanese team, like you say. So it does carry weight,
Even I think McPhee when McPhee did a great job this year just as a stand-in, didn't he?
He did,
and I know that got him noticed.
Yeah.
It was literally he started the race, didn't he? And actually went forwards as well, and it was like you're on a lot of people's shopping list very quickly, you know.
Yeah. And I think it would suit John, to be honest with you. BSB's different, like the level's so high in BSB, and not just that, then you've got the tracks to, you know, I know John's rode on the tracks, but that was on a 125. Things come at you a lot quicker on a big bike, don't they? It was like when I'd done that.
I was just going to say, how was your little foray into BSB?
I was like, holy shit, this thing's fast. Like,
how did that come about, first of all?
One of my old data guys messaged me and said, would you be up for doing a BSB round? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then got talking to Chris, and we just sort of done a bit. Look, we all knew that I wasn't looking to get a career back in BSB or whatever. I thought it'd be great time to ride a bike, because I don't ride in between endurance races, so I thought it's a bit of bike time. I've been riding a BMW all year, so then I can give my comments back on what the Aprilia's like and whatnot. But I forgot how bumpy and how fast Thruxton was. Yeah, I think if it was somewhere like Donington, or you know, a bit more like what I'm used to, then I probably could have given better feedback on what the bike was doing, because it's more what I'm used to. But yeah, Jesus Christ, it was fast. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good fun, and to experience like Chris's team as well. We don't have many teams or team owners as passionate as what he is, and that's what we need in the sport. We need them type of team owners as passionate as what Chris is in the sport. So I think it was great to see that, because it's great to see that the future's still bright for the sport and for such a new team in BSB as well. So, which you'll find out.
Hopefully,
Christian's going to go and win their first race.
He's just as passionate after next year, and have not beat that out of him.
And speaking of new teams, you've got a bit of something to tell us, haven't you? Yeah.
So we're going to have a team in BSB in the British Talent Cup Championship.
When you say we, who's we?
Me and Stanford Racing. So I met him earlier on in the year, and we got talking, and sort of he said, well, what would your dream want to be? And he's fully behind it and supporting the project I've sort of wanted to do for quite a while now.
Go on.
That's not a bit.
Which is?
So I don't know if many people are aware, but I've been running like a mini bike race school for the last 3 years, and I took a shine to about 6 or 7 of the riders, and we had a mini bike team, but then with the little one coming, it had to go on the back burner, because it's like life just gets so busy. So now things have started calming down. Me and Kevin was talking, and he said, what would the dream be? And I said, well, I'd love to have a British Talent Cup team, because our eldest one is old enough to do the British Talent Cup next year. So he's fully behind it and supporting it. So the idea is to bring all the kids we look after now. From next year we'll have 1 rider, and the year after we'll have 2 riders, and then bring them in each year, because the age group we've actually got, we can do that, bring 1 in each year. Hopefully it's a great development program for them, and with Kevin's help, and with all his help, it would never be possible without him. So with that, we can reduce the cost for them, so we can build a professional team around them, because I feel that's what young riders need. They need to learn that the data is there, the data never lies, but also to help them develop as a rider, have a professional mechanic in there, and just help them grow quicker. But alongside that, we're going to have each of the young riders in the mini bikes come in each weekend, do like a work experience, clean fairings, look through data, just understand the team. So then when they step in, it's not such a big
culture shock
for them. They're sort of surrounded by their friends, which I've got a good relationship with the riders already, and they trust me, and like I'm their mate, so they'll understand that. But then when you got someone working on their bike and talking through data, you need to be fully transparent, don't you? And also as a rider, you need to understand where you can improve. That's the plan with the rider and the team situation. But then we've done a deal with Wolverhampton Uni, who have a car racing program at the moment, and they want to get into the bike side of things as well. So we're gonna start interviewing some candidates to be a junior mechanic and a junior data guy. So the guys who we have employed in the team will teach them up to be a data guy, and they're obviously doing all their school work, uni work at the uni, but then they get to come into like a live job, a high pressured environment with us, and then hopefully they can then progress on in the sport, and we can develop young data guys, young mechanics to get involved in the sport, and again bring some young blood in.
It's obviously quite a big evolution of what you've already been doing, but what got you into sort of doing that in the first place? And you don't have to be all, I do it for the love of this, that and the other, and I needed £1, because that could be the case, but what was it that made you want to sort of bring in this academy type? Because you've done your GP academy is what you started with, wasn't it?
So we all need to earn a bit of money, right, at the end of the day. But I had to, before I went back endurance racing and the road started working for me a bit more. I was driving around delivering car parts for my mate's company, and I just thought, I can't be doing this every day of my life. Like, I didn't mind doing it because you got to earn money, but I didn't want to do it. So when the World Supersport ride sort of faded out, I've always had in the back of my mind, I'd love to have like a training camp, or not camps, but like training days for younger riders or whoever, really, experienced riders, whatever they want to do. So I spoke to Pete Boast, and because he's got his indoor flat track place, I thought perfect location. We can do a bit of fitness training, we can get on the bikes, have some fun, and then talk to him about how to present yourself to the media, how to speak to sponsors, how to bite your tongue when you need to bite your tongue. So that's where it come from. And then I thought, well, if I can then be able to earn a day's money out of that, then that's great, because I'm doing something I love doing, and also I can at least pay my bills. No one's going to become rich from motorbike racing, because it's just never going to happen. But so yeah, that's how it started. And then I took a liking to some of the kids, but also figured out the families as well, because that's a very important factor. And then we started the kids team up, and that was literally off our own back. We had a sponsor helping us out. Steve Wheatman helped out as well. But that all our time and everything was for free for them. So we would go to the mini bike race meetings. I would coach them. I would teach them, try and talk to them about the bike, etc., and that was all completely for free. So them kids we've stayed with them throughout, and yeah, so hopefully now we can bring them into the team. It's going to reduce the cost for the families. It's not going to be free, because even the British Talent Cup, it costs a fair amount of money. But again, with Kevin's support, we can reduce costs for them, and they're going to be surrounded by a professional environment. If I can pay the professionals what they need to be there at the weekend for the kids to learn, then that's the biggest support we can give them. So the running costs will still be down to the parents, or if they can, however they can get the money together. But that's a heavily reduced cost, and then they're going to be into a professional run team. And we're not going to have an Arctic or anything like that, because it's a massive cost. But we'll have a trailer and a nice awning, and look as professional as we can look, and run it professionally. So
spend the money in the right places.
Yeah.
First off, fair play to you, because it's something that I worry about for us in the UK. We haven't got a huge amount of infrastructure, like when you look at what they're doing in Spain and Italy with bringing through with the academies and bringing through the younger riders. We don't have that same infrastructure there, and you're putting in that conduit between the mini bikes or the Contis or the metric kits. That conduit between there and getting into the British Talent Cup. There's not really anything there at the minute, is there? But are you going to continue to then do what you're doing with the mini bike scene to continue that? I don't want to say scouting, but
so it's a real difficult one at the minute, because the insurance to run the training days, because we're putting an event on as such. The insurance has doubled in the last year. It's looking unlikely we'll be able to do anything next year, just because of the cost of the insurance. But I will still be trying to coach them and trying to look after them. So we'll still keep an eye on definitely the 6 or 7 riders we already have in this, like the pool. But and I'm still going to try and coach other young riders and whatnot, to help develop their skills. But for the actual days, it's not a no, but I need to wait for the forecast of the insurance to see what happens with it, because this year it was real. Things were real tight this year, just for the fact of the insurance doubling.
I mean, that's another kick for British riders to start with, isn't it? I mean, it's we already don't have the infrastructure in place, and now we've got another real big flipping hurdle to which I didn't even I knew there was other things going on for what's been going on in BSB and track days, and
it's basically
we now can't ride BSB riders can't ride BSB bikes because no insurance will cover it. I never really thought beyond that in terms of putting on days for kids and stuff. I never actually thought beyond that.
Honestly, it's the whole. When I was talking to the insurance company, it's basically a blanket for all motorcycle racing in the UK. So track days, kids, mini bike, schools, everything. So
is this something that's been brought on by recent activity,
yeah, of course,
a recent thing that's gone on?
Of course, insurance companies can't tell you that, but
timing fits, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's difficult, but we'll see. You know, the Spanish do have a very good infrastructure. I don't think insurance sort of works out there or matters because the way they're doing
Spanish.
Things. Yeah. I mean, we done a training day when we first done our Spanish trip 3 years ago. I turned up to the kart circuit and I said to them, what are all these people doing here? They went, oh, they're here to ride. I said, yeah, but I've rented the track privately. And he went, oh no, you've rented a session privately. I went, right, okay, well that wasn't the deal, but anyway, we're here now, so we'll just get on with it. And then I'd rented an ambulance, and paramedics, they started laughing. They went, what's that doing here? I said, well, in case one of the kids hurt himself, we've got paramedics here on site. And they just thought I was mental.
It is funny, like we're so different in this country, aren't we, to what when I used to go riding supermoto and stuff, and then you turn up to a kart track and there's no one else there. There's like the person that signs you on, and then they start serving in the calf for the same person.
Yeah.
And then you spanner yourself, so you have to get Pedro, who signed you on and is now serving sausage in the calf, to come and scoop you up and take you to hospital.
With his greasy hands.
But it's kind of how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. So
we don't necessarily have the infrastructure like that, but then we do have the infrastructure, I believe, now, as in Michael's team, Dorna, and that's the reason why I want to do the British Talent Cup, because if you win the British Talent Cup or you do very well in it and you're a standout, then you get a prize. Like Ethan Sparks, we've worked with Ethan Sparks in the past. We first set the schools up with Chaz Mortimer, and Chaz has sort of taken Ethan under his wing, and he's managing him and sorting stuff out. So Ethan won the British Talent Cup this year. He's got a free ride next year in the European Talent Cup. So he's on the road now. You know, he's on a fully paid scholarship now under Dorna. So we have got that. If you win the British Talent Cup or you're a standout, because I think the guy who's second in the championship as well, he's got a ride now in Junior GP under Dorna. So we do have that, and you get an automatic promotion to Red Bull Rookie Cup. So in a way, we're very fortunate to have that, because you go to, Spain is the European Talent Cup. If you win that, of course, you're going to get seen. But it's not a guarantee that you get a free ride at the end of it. Northern Talent Cup, I believe you don't get a free ride at the end of it. Asia Talent Cup.
Is the Northern Talent Cup the one that went to Assen this year?
Yeah. Asia Talent Cup, again, I'm not sure on what happens if you win it. I think Asia Talent Cup you do, actually, because you go into the junior
Idemitsu team, don't you?
Yeah, the junior talent team in the junior GP championship. So we are very lucky racing in England for that reason. So, you know, that's a good reason to do the British Talent Cup, but it's highly competitive. Like Ethan, to be fair, this year was a standout. You know, he went in there first year and won the championship. He's a good size for the little bikes, and hopefully he's on the road now, and he's, you know, takes a bit of pressure off the families as well.
Your current crop of riders, how did it come about that you ended up with, how many have you got under your wing at the moment?
About 6 or 7. So just got to know them and liked them.
Did you?
Yeah. And yeah, some of them are, I would say the majority of them have definitely got a future in the sport. Definitely. It's hard, isn't it? Because we know how difficult it is. All their dreams are to go to GP, right? Mm-hmm. But I've tried explaining to them, if you can earn a living out of the sport you love doing, you're doing it right. Yeah. Like, it's not a bad way to earn a living. So, yeah, I believe the majority of them have got potential, and some of them are taller than others, but that's no reason why they can't still have a career in the sport. yeah, we had Wilson Dilks was in the World FIM final for the Ovale thing the other week in Valencia.
World Series.
Yeah. So he finished in the top 10 of that. So like fantastic. He did have a struggle to get there. Bless him. No fault with his own. But we had a dodgy tyre pressure gauge for the whole of the week, and only realised until the final non-qualifiers race. Going into the final non-qualifiers race, we figured out that the tyre pressure gauge was reading 5 psi too low. And that's why we turned the bike upside down throughout the whole week, because we thought the tyre pressures were right. So it's got to be something else, but it wasn't. It was a dodgy tyre pressure gauge. So he had to start from 4th or 5th in the last non-qualifiers race, which he had to win to get through. And the track's like tiny. It's so difficult to pass. But to be fair, he'd done what he does best, and he got his elbows out and fought his way through and won it. And then he had to start from then the back of the grid of the main races and finished. He had 10th, 11th and 8th or something, so up against the best kids in the world. So, and then there was Tyler Humphreys, done the same there as well. Forley, he done a great job as well. So we have got, the nice thing with that, the Ovale FIM championship, is you go to that final and you're against the fastest kids in the world. So if you can do all right there, you're probably going to be racing against them kids for the rest of your career.
Yeah,
which
them
is
pictures that you see of lads that now racing MotoGP together that used to racing whatever it was. It's
Are you involved in the point at which these kids are making the jumps from the Ovales to Talent Cup?
Yeah.
Are you advising in that, right, you're going to have another year because our plan for you is this? Or is it you've got parents who are going to say, no, next year he's a size now, look at the size of him, he's 12 but he's 6'1", we need to get him. Are you able to be a part of that journey? Or
so I've always said to the parents, of course we want to bring them into Talent Cup because I believe that that's where they're going to learn the most, and they can do it at 14 to say 16. If they're too tall at 16 for the bike, then they can go on to something different. I'm not going to sit here and go, you need to be with us for the rest of your career, because I don't want to hold a rider back at all from their career. Like, if someone else can offer them something better than what I can offer them, please go with it, and I'll try and help you and advise you the best way I could, because I want someone to be able to succeed as much as they can in the sport, because it's great to see.
Yeah.
Like, I worked with Max from when he was 12, and I've always tried saying to Max, like, if you can start earning a living out of bike racing, mate, you're doing all right. And look at him now, like, he's one of the BSB's future stars. So, I mean, Mad Max, he was a star, wasn't he, at Thruxton?
Kind of a bit loopy that race, but it worked for him.
I don't know what got into him then. Because you see, speak to him off track and he's like, are you the same rider who was riding that bike? But no, that's, I would never ever hold a rider back, because you see it too many times, don't you? And it's so difficult to make it in this sport. So whatever they can do, you know, we'll support them in their first couple of years and try and do the groundwork and the fundamentals and teach them what we can teach them. And then if they have to go on, or if we can support them in going on in any sort of way, then we will. But yeah, I wouldn't say manager, but try to advise them in the correct way.
What's it? I imagine man managing, or not kid managing children of that age is probably reasonably not easy, but not too much of a task. But is it sometimes the parents that can be a bit harder to manage?
Motocross dads.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, you don't have to mix your words. Yeah, it is. But luckily, again, the reason why I picked some of these particular kids, not just because of that fast on track, but
is that what you're going to say?
Only better not this.
Christian Iddon's Tourette's coming out again there.
But just because the way the parents just because of the way the parents act as well.
Yeah.
Because
not like that.
No,
yeah,
not like
me. Toby's not getting in the camp.
Just to see how they react as well. And to be fair, all of them are pretty good, pretty chilled out, and don't get me wrong, you know, they're passionate about it, but the majority of our parents just want their kids to make a career out of it, but they're not they're not in it because that's what they wanted to do, because you see that quite a lot, don't you?
Well, that's what I've seen
vicariously living their life.
I've seen it a lot in motocross of parents living their racing life, or their failed racing life through their kids and forcing it on. It's supposed to be fun, isn't it? It has to be.
At the end of the day, that's why we all start motorbike racing, isn't it? Because it's good fun, and like we're here to try and help them and develop them and try and teach them the right things to do and the wrong things to do. But they're all, at the end of the day, they're human, so people are always going to make mistakes. But the main goal of it is to keep them enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, what's the point in doing it? Like, I often think to myself now, if I'm not enjoying it, well, like what I said about when I started endurance racing and I found a love of riding again, and that's why I'm still riding. But if I wasn't, I wouldn't be racing, because why would you go and do something,
put yourself through all that stress and
training, and you have to want it as well.
Yeah.
If you don't want it,
well, you're never going to succeed anyway, are you? If you don't truly want it deep down, then no matter how naturally talented you are, you're always going to miss that last bit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Could you see this? Because I can. Can you see this growing arms and legs? And it'll be where you're not just running the Talent Cup. You've got someone there who you think, for whatever reason, the little bike hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
But you can still see something in this kid. Right, we're going to need to look at setting up another side to the team, which we have another bike for another class to support that rider on that journey.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just thinking from the point of view of like a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan.
Yeah, you never know where it could take you, but obviously the involvement with the uni. Hopefully we can then build the team. So then we've got data guys we can trust and mechanics we can trust by teaching them and building them up into a race environment as well, because anyone can be good behind a computer at uni or know what to do with the spanners at uni, but when they're in a high pressured environment, and then hopefully we can build a team like that, which we're going to have to anyway, because we're going to need 2 lots of staff for the year for 2027, and then Henry McCartney's our rider next year, so if he's then outgrown the bike by the time he's 16 and he can go on to a super sport bike or a sport bike or whatever, and if we have the facility to do it and we can have the sponsorship to do it, then why not? And if he wants to continue with us, he might not want to continue with us, but at the end of the day, the riders are that's our best interest to help them get a career in sport.
Do you still think now with sport bike coming through as such a good class? Because I wasn't a fan at all when they first announced that sort of thing. I thought didn't think it was great, but I think it's fantastic now, to be honest with you.
I thought it was a shit idea.
Well, I thought
I honestly did.
I thought it was going to be like that Super Twin thing, where it's super expensive bikes essentially that aren't designed to go as fast as they are, and actually it's like Super Twins was designed to be cheap racing and ended up being the most expensive class you can have. I thought it was one of them, and it's not. It's epic.
No, it actually is, and I think a lot of people, if Stuart Higgs watches this, I think a lot of people sometimes question his movements with classes and stuff like that, but he makes them work. He does make them work.
That's really worked. The number of manufacturers, the number of teams involved, the finance or the lack of finance. It's still expensive, but the lack of finance required to go and do it.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of things going for it.
Is Scott Smart involved in the technical side of that?
Yeah, again, Scott's
he does a mega job with that, doesn't he? Where it's like, well, if we put this parameter in and this parameter in, and that's where these manufacturers can go, we end up where these bikes, although they're quite different as a road bike,
completely different. You've got
as a race product, we end up with a level playing field, which I think he's got a harder job than Stuart.
Yes.
Stuart, like you say, Stuart does an amazing job, and we should almost know now not to question what he's doing, because he's got it pretty right.
And you look at it with the BSB class, like all the classes really in the British Superbike Championship, they
produce good racing.
They're good. They are good classes, and he has done a great job, and we do. and Scott as well, obviously, is a massive part of that. And
he's sort of the unsung hero in that, isn't he?
Yeah, well, you look now, Harrison Desoy and Fenton Seabright going to World Championship with Hickey. They've probably got...
Yeah, that was announced this week.
They've probably got a good chance. Yeah, they probably have got a good chance. Obviously, Fenton has probably got maybe a better chance than Harrison. I don't like to say that, but Fenton done a lot of years in the World Supersport 300 Championship, so he's got the track. Yeah. He's got the track knowledge, so he's got a great opportunity. And Harrison, again, like he's got another great opportunity. And I'm not saying both of them, I think, are at the same level talent wise, but obviously Fenton has he's got a bit more experience on the world stage. So I think it's great. It's creating more opportunities for him, definitely.
Yeah. It was last year they had Coops in that class, Richard Cooper, which I always like it when there's someone who's a good yardstick, because you know exactly.
I disagreed with you till you put your argument across, and then I changed camps.
Yeah,
because I thought that's a lot of shit. You're just putting someone in there who's going to clean up, but actually the point was to prove
how good the others are.
Yeah. And I suppose it's also from a bike development point of view as well.
And a class development.
Yes.
Because he'll have been talking with Scott and with Stuart.
But this year there wasn't really the yardstick. But then Fenton did the Supersport race on a Gixxer 750 at Assen. And I watched the bike going past, and I saw it, and then I'd like to watch the screens and stuff, and I'm like, don't recognise that number, just because I was watching it go through, and I'm like looking on the screen, I'm like, wow. And it showed how good the calibre of riders are in sport bike, because Fenton was by no means clearing up in sport bike anyway.
Yeah.
And then he's straight away fourth. I think he finished third in one of the free practices that I watched, and then was fourth in one of the races, and incredible.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see that calibre of rider and how that's obviously a good development class. But the question I was going to pose to you is, it's such a traditional mindset to go Moto3 is the starting point.
Yeah.
Can you foresee that potentially sport bike might be a better starting point soon?
Yeah, so there's the new, what's the juniors? They got that juniors sport bike.
Junior.
Yeah, like, again, the reason why obviously I've chose the Talent Cup route is because that's where I'm from. I'm a bit biased, but it's not for everyone. And there's obviously a good prize if they can get that prize. It's a good prize for them.
It's a very supported stepping stone for him.
Yeah. But the new junior sport bike class is another avenue for them. For whoever wants to try and become a professional. Do you think that might be even better if, say you have got a taller or a heavier kid? Do you think that might be a better avenue? Yeah, I think so. It's real difficult to figure it out because you see a taller rider seems to struggle a bit more on race bikes than what they do on production bikes, and I'm not sure why that is. Even smaller production bikes, even like when you see the 300s and that, like you see some quite tall riders doing quite good jobs on them. But
even though that bike's underpowered?
Yeah, so... I don't get how that works. But anyway, I think there's a lot of avenues, and we're again down to Stuart. We are the first championship to sort of bring them classes in. So
which they're now rolling out, aren't they? And in a lot of series is around the world.
Yeah. So
do you think?
Fair play.
Do you think we're seeing a bit of we're going a bit into like I quite like it because it means we're chilled out. We're going into like when we do our catch ups. Do you think like how traditionally we've seen the pathway to get to Grand Prix is to go production prototype bikes the whole way, and it's very, very difficult to go from World Superbike and then jump across into MotoGP and be competitive. But we're now starting to see the times of what World Superbikes are doing seem to be getting tighter to where Grand Prix is. And now we're seeing Top Rack going across, and Boulaga was at Portimao and was like, his times are impressive, weren't they? Do you think that the future with these other classes means that the option to do the production bikes and across into Grand Prix is going to be more accessible or more achievable?
Yeah, I hope so.
Did I make sense in what I said then?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, look at Jake Dixon. He kind of done that, didn't he? He went BSB to Moto2. I think we have talent in the BSB paddock which can do that. And at the minute, which I can't, like you saw Max, Charlie, Nesbitt, like they're at the age where they could possibly still do it again. But we almost need to go back to like the JT era, don't we? And like if you win World Superbikes, then you sort of get a hop across to the
and get you into MotoGP and give you a couple of 3 years. Yeah.
I think it's changed quite a lot in that respect. I've always had the theory that the GP bikes, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP, because they're inherently more stiff chassis. If you get used to that sensation, I think it's harder if you've come from production based.
Yeah.
And even vice versa, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think actually recently, Moto3 bikes, they ride them a lot looser than they ever used to.
Yeah.
Moto2 almost rides like a 250 in a way when you watch it.
Yeah.
But MotoGP also now rides more. If you watch it, it looks more like a superbike.
Yeah.
They're on the move a lot more. So actually, I think the crossover is a lot easier than it was about 10 years ago when there were two very different types of motorcycle. Now I think there's, apart from Moto2, I actually think
there's the technology, isn't there, coming from
just the way you watch Moto3 riders ride, I think they must set them up different than they used to and stuff like that, because the way they back them in and even drift them out and do all...
4-strokes, aren't they? So completely different how you reach the rider 125.
Even when it started to be in Moto3, as in 4-stroke, it wasn't like that. It was very in-line, everything was very set. Now they move about as if it's a superbike, a production superbike, shall we say. It's kind of like... I think there's been quite a shift in how it's...
A big part of that is the tyres, the Pirellis.
The Pirelli.
Yeah, big part of that's the Pirelli. Because that, believe it or not, it can go off in a rear tyre can go off on a Moto3 bike.
Which never used to be the case.
You would never, ever get that on with your Dunlops. You'd just be like, right. And I think it's a good thing in a way, because it's bringing more of a technical spec back into... Like, you've got to set the bike up for the tyre to last, or the rider has to manage it, or... You know, when I was in 125s, it was you had to have the right jetting in the bike. So you had to have a proper team around you. Not saying that they're not proper, they weren't proper teams, but it was so much more technical, and the rider had to understand what the bike was doing. Was it putting too much fuel in? They could tell by the data, but at the end of the day, the rider can.
The feel.
It's that, isn't it? You can feel it, and that's why a lot of ex-riders are good crew chiefs, because they know what that rider wants to feel. So I was with Andrew Pitt last week and was talking to him about it, and he said, like, the technical side of things, looking at the data and all that, it's, I think for all riders it can get a little bit confusing sometimes, but at the end of the day, when a rider explains to another rider what they want to feel, and with your experience you then know
what they're looking for,
what they're looking for,
achieve,
whether it's the suspension's in the numbers or not. You go, well, if I put that stiffer spring on, and it won't quite be in the number, but the rider will ride it into the number because he's got that confidence.
Yeah.
So
I think as well, you become, when you're not riding it and you're in a position where you haven't got the stress and the pressure of riding it, as a rider, you hear what they're saying and you can articulate it to someone far better than the rider can, because he's fucking, I can't get it to turn through there. Yeah, he's having issues because the front's, you can translate, can't you? You can translate it to the team.
I mean, your knowledge base is better than probably anyone, because you've been in every paddock pretty much known to man.
On every bike.
But then, we touched on it before, but there's so much more to racing than just being a fast kid or bloke or woman or whatever on a motorbike. Not as a percentage, but like, how much of it for you is down to getting them not in the right frame of mind, but sort of teaching them, this is the way to behave, this is how you have to work with your mechanics, this is how you have to look through data, rather than just do this, do that on the bike?
Yeah. That's the hardest part. Just getting them to understand, even just going out for a meal with your mechanics or with your team, or, it's a big part, isn't it? You need to make that friendship with them, and that's what we're trying to do. Make the riders feel like they're part of a family or part of a friendship group, where
there's humility.
They don't mind sitting down and going through the data, because you're looking through the data, and then you're calling each other twats or whatever you want to call each other, but you've got that bond with them, and it's not a chore. It shouldn't really feel like a chore. You should want to go back and and want to improve the bike and improve yourself. And I think if you don't want that or don't have that, then maybe motorbike racing isn't for you, because you need that, and you need a team around. I know we was talking about the endurance thing. It's just you on that bike, but you've got a big team around you who are working for you to get that result. And really, at the end of the day, in sprint racing, who's the hero when they win? It's the rider, isn't it, really? So, yeah, that's the biggest part, is just teaching them about everything else around it. But it also not being a chore, you wanting to do it.
It's nice that you're doing it in more of a family type atmosphere. That's the impression that I get, because the impression that I get from Spanish racing, Italian racing, and especially actually after doing the interview with Max, or talking to Max about some things, is how much more cutthroat it is in those scenarios. Because with them, it's do X, Y, and Z. No parents allowed in this bit.
Yeah.
If you're not good enough, you're out.
Yeah.
You can cry all you want, but it's not happening. You know, it's a different mentality. But I think as Brits, we have a different mentality to a lot of them. And also, we don't have the same size of talent pool either. So we can't sort of discard a load of people, can we? Because we don't have the others to fall back on.
That's another thing. Like, everyone thinks the Spanish have it all. And they do. They do have good facilities in that. But it's like football over there. There's hundreds and hundreds of them, like, trying to be the next Marquez. And when realistically, 4 or 5 of them are going to make it. And we have, like you just said, a smaller talent pool. So you I bet if you put the numbers together, you've got more of a chance in becoming a world championship rider being British than Spanish, because of just the size of the numbers. I mean, you look at, there's a race called Pacosta, and I've seen it of an evening. Gee, there's 50 of them just go on, off you go, do these cone, and it's just like, it's organised chaos. Like, honestly, it's absolutely mental. But I think that's a way.
But with that number of kids, they can just dismiss easily. They can go, not you, not you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got a talent pool of 5 or 6 or whatever, you've got to be a bit more.
You need to try and find.
It's more of a nurture as well, isn't it, rather than a.
Yeah, and we are built a bit differently in England, and I don't want to kid, because at the end of the day, if I've taken notice of them, I think that they've got something. So whether that's on a GP bike or not, I would like to see them succeed. And putting time and effort into them early on, it would be an absolute pleasure to see them succeed and either win a British Superbike Championship or a British Championship or a World Superbike Championship or a MotoGP Championship, whatever. It would be like, it for me, that would be the proudest moment. I mean, on multiple times, the kids have had me in tears just because of sometimes their results, and it gets me, like, I've been emotional about it.
It's getting old as well, mate.
Honestly, even last week when Wilson won that race and he had to win it, like, he had a 34-year-old man, like, welling up. I'm just like, but I suppose when you're doing things like that, that's what makes you realise that it actually means something to you.
Yeah.
What when you were in Moto 3 125s, was it Moto 3 or 125s?
Both 125s.
Was it?
Yeah.
At least I got it right then.
Yeah.
I had to second guess myself then. What support did you have, if any? How did it work when you were in World Championship? I'm just wondering whether some of your experiences brought you to actually want to give this extra support.
I was going to ask you that, but if it was the Tosland influence.
So, well, I mean, 125s, I was very lucky with Dorna. Yeah. Dorna helped me. I was right place, right time, midget size. Like, you know, I suppose they looked at me and thought, yeah, he can. And I was, you know, they helped fund the whole situation. But I think it's more when you have like a proper bad year and everything goes against you, and then you look around and there's no one there. Like, no, when everything's going good, everyone's there. Everyone's wanting to be your mate. Or when it comes to the British Grand Prix, your phone's going mental because everyone wants a pass. Like, but then when it's not, phone starts ringing, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, when a rider's down, you want, you know, you need support. You need someone to put your arm around you, going, you know, you've got to pull your socks up because it's not.
It's just a blip.
It's just a blip. Yeah. Trust me. Like I've been there. I've done it. I've been in this situation before. It will get better. And then JT, like his influence, he's so mentally strong. Like I've never met anyone like it before in my life. And he's a great role model, and he's a really good friend. Like he's one of them blokes where if I needed to ring him at 2:00 in the morning, he'd answer the phone and be there for me. So yeah, like him as well, and he taught me a lot. And he said, if you're still enjoying it, race for as long as you can race, because trust me, when you can't do it anymore, it's a kick in the gut. So yeah, he's taught me a lot. He has. So.
He's when they say about don't meet your heroes and all of that, he's an exception because he's genuinely just a good bloke, and
oh mate,
he's a top bloke.
He wrote so for my wedding, he wrote us a song for our wedding and played it at our wedding, and I'm just like, mate, I can't repay you for that, like it. And he just done it just because he genuinely was so happy for me and Rianne, and he just done it because he wanted to do it, and like just such a great bloke. Yeah. So
things like that do have to they've got to play a part in it, haven't they? That's going to leave an impression with you.
Yeah.
And it's cool that as you've aged, you find yourself in that same position of thinking that it's almost shaped your future as well.
Well, yeah, and I always try and say, and the kids probably. They're probably a bit too young to understand it in a minute, but I always say, like, if anything's bothering you, just talk to me about it, because 9 times out of 10 I've probably been in the same situation or had the same thoughts at some point. I think a lot of riders do, don't they? Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, then I can't help you. But if you're worrying about something or anything whatsoever, just speak to us about it. So
how old are these kids?
So Henry's turning 14. He's either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
And the youngest?
8. Yeah.
So you got like a fair
big spread there.
Yeah, because I'm thinking my little lass is 7. She'll be 8 next year.
Yeah.
That age is just absolute mayhem. And then at 14, you're completely different. There's a lot of different things going on there with your body and
exactly.
That's got to be quite difficult in itself to manage them, because you're going to have to treat them all as individuals. They're all different personalities that are all going to. Some need a bit of tough love. Some need an arm around them. Some need to be. Are going to be very analytical in the way that they learn to dissect information. Others, you're going to have to physically show them what to do.
Yeah.
Are you able to? You know all those little characters and how they all work, and you just have to go, right, I'm dealing with so and so, so I know I'm going to have to.
Yeah, and I think that's also with. Starting it, well, not starting it now, it's been going on 3 years, but I've got that working relationship with them, so I understand how they work and I understand how I need to talk to them. Some of them I need to go, stop moaning, get on with it, but others you have to get some information out of them, and you have to go at things at a bit of a different angle, but that's just through learning them and starting to understand them, and that's why I think also sometimes some of them can jump into a team and perform straight away, but some of them can't because their surroundings and who they trust and how they're talking about the bike or what they're feeling on the bike, and it gets lost in translation. So that's also why I want to bring our riders through and not just sort of bring a new rider in and just go, right, here's so-and-so from a different paddock and chuck him on the bike, because I haven't got that working relationship with them. So so it's nice that we can and hopefully the platform carries on for as many years as it can carry on for. So,
and just thinking as well with that, then so you need that little bit of continuity with your team as well. So your team get used to those little characters as well, which leads me on to your next thing of. So if you needed to recruit new teams, you are now.
Yes.
You've got your finger in a lot of pies at the minute, haven't you, Danny?
You and T-Mac. Go on.
So yeah, me and T-Mac. So we're obviously new fathers and finding out how expensive it is. and they've not even discovered motorbikes yet. We was in the gym and we was like, what could we do? Like
gym or soft play?
Soft play, no. soft plays on Saturday. We're going to see who can get kicked out first by doing the first front flip. So anyway, we've both been looking to try and do something together, and I was struggling to find a data guy for Daytona. So I thought, if there was only everyone who I knew was busy. So I thought if there was only a platform where I could go on, have a look, right.
He's worked where I've he's been in the kind of areas I want to be.
I'll contact him. So anyhow, me and Taylor got talking, and we'd done a bit of research. From as far as what we can see, no one's doing it, especially motorcycle racing, especially. So we come up with the Paddock Network.com.
Very nice.
That was seamless. That.
Yeah,
you can almost clip that, Grace, and then charge it back to him to make his own radio ad. So basically, it's a job agency for motorcycle racing, and we've spoken to it will be launched by the time this goes out, but we've spoken to a few people and they said that's a great idea. Like, we've got some jobs we would like to put on there. We're just slowly getting some jobs on there and hopefully get some more and more CVs on there, and hopefully it will start growing. So and at the moment it's completely free up until March for people to advertise jobs. So
you could get an independent who has their own workshop that is wanting to get into that paddock. They can go on there, put their CV up and say, been a motorcycle mechanic for 15 years or 10 years, and I'm looking to be to make a transition into the race paddock.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested, and then they can list their CV on there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and there'll be jobs on there already, what they can apply for or whatnot.
So vice versa, a team might say, need a tyre guy, and then apply here, or is that how it works?
Yeah. So, and for us, with the work with the uni as well, hopefully it can all tie in, because then we've got students from the uni who have possibly worked with our team and done a great job. Then they've got a bit of a racing CV background as well, so hopefully they can go on to, I don't know, being the next Frankie Carcetti or something like that, and again, it's another bringing fresh blood into the sport sort of thing. So and not just that, we all know how difficult it is to find jobs and whatnot, so hopefully there's a bit of a platform there for the motorcycle racing paddock.
It's a good idea, because I guess a lot of lads that end up in that mechanicking world, you sort of have to be in the right place, right time, know somebody.
It is very difficult, I think, when you're trying to populate a team or vice versa, get in the paddock. Once you're in, I think you're in the paddock within reason, aren't you? It's kind of, but it is almost so self-populating. It's almost word of mouth, and you see
it's word of mouth and who you know, and not necessarily what you know, but I mean, it is like obviously we've got very, very clever people in the paddock, but someone who it can be someone who just wants to come in on a race weekend and experience whatever they want to experience. It's up to the teams to then choose whoever they want to choose, whether it's a paid role or an unpaid role or whatever. But we'll see if it works. I mean, we think it's a good idea, but then everyone thinks when they have a good new idea, it's a good idea, don't they? So we'll see. I'm sure it's I think it's something what the paddock's missing. So hopefully it can.
Who came up with the idea first? Who's claiming it?
Well, I spoke to Taylor about it, and then we spoke to Neil. Well, Taylor spoke to Neil about it, right. And Neil said, "Yeah, that's quite a good idea." And then Taylor's done a website. So
it's your idea.
I stood back on the website because I knew if I was going to get involved with that, Taylor it'd probably tell me to piss off before we got going, because I'm not very good with that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So really, it all sort of links in together, so it's worked out quite well, really. The problem is, like, at the minute I'm trying to do 5 different jobs to earn a living, and really I want to narrow that down to be able to just focus on 2 things, really. Maybe 3 things if I continue racing, the Paddock Network and my team, so Stanford Racing, so Kevin's team. So hopefully it can all start coming together.
You're going to be a busy bloke next year, Jesus.
Yeah, busy, but you know what we're like. If we weren't busy, we wouldn't know what to do, would we?
No. Well, no, you'd be a nightmare, wouldn't you?
And now with a little one, I don't know what I'd done with my time before. Like, honestly,
me and the missus have the same conversation. We're like, what did we used to do to fill our time before? Like,
you were a slave.
You can't
to
remember.
that little person.
You literally can't remember what happened before a child because
it's mental, isn't it? Literally from that day, it's like that, and you're just like, you can't even think about what you used to do.
Yeah,
it's just mad, isn't it? But it's the best thing in the world as well.
I'm just gonna.
Would you want any of your offspring? Because I don't know if you maybe have more in the future and stuff as well. But would you want them to go down the motorcycle racing route?
No, I don't think I'll be able to deal with.
You're a girl dad like me.
Yeah. I love it, mate.
Yeah.
Do
you?
It's so cool because women's racing now is so mint at the minute. Like it's really taking off, and it's great. It's so good to see.
Yeah.
But being a dad isn't.
But I could never. We thought we was going to have a boy, right? And we didn't find out. She was a surprise, and when she come, I thought, how the hell am I? I'd had all these thoughts about being a
Do you know that's an actual thing? Gender disappointment's an actual thing.
Well,
I'm not saying you were disappointed, but in your head, you.
Yeah, but then. but then I just
disappointed.
But then I was just like, oh, it's great, we got a girl, and then. Now I can't imagine myself being a boy dad.
Yeah.
Like, I love having a little girl. It's just great. But the answer to your question, I don't think my nerves could cope with it. I really don't. Like, even when the kids we look after now, I get so nervous when they're out, and they're not even my kids. Like, I don't think I would want. As a parent, you never want to fail them, do you? So I don't think I'd ever want to fail them, and I feel like if I wouldn't be able to give them the opportunities, then I would be failing them. But
I think we also know how hard and cutthroat and how ruthless an industry it is.
Yeah,
it's like
it might change.
Would you want to put them through that, knowing the heartache and all the rest that goes with it?
And if we have another baby and it's a girl or a boy, whatever they want to do, I'll support them in it. Ballet, preferably, something a bit cheaper.
I sat at a cheerleading competition last weekend, mate, for 6 hours. Sat in a big, it was Bolton Arena, watching a cheerleading competition.
But how much was the costume?
It was dear.
Was it?
Oh, it was dear. You are deluded if you think that it's cheap. We did more than a set of tyres for the event, for the entry to the competition, the costume.
Yeah, but how many times a year is that?
4, 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, more than endurance racing. Oh. Yeah, no, it'll change.
Or maybe football.
I'm not the right man to speak to. You ask Grace.
So she can have a new set of football boots a month.
For a set of tyres.
Yeah, exactly. Not even that, innit?
I'm just looking at some Patreon questions. Jess Morton has asked, as we touched on, you've been in every major paddock. Is there anything unique you've seen a team or rider or even event that you think everyone should do? I don't know what rider you think everyone should do. That's a bit odd, but I think they mean is there any event you think that people should witness or go and see?
I would possibly say the weather at Le Mans isn't great, but the atmosphere is one of the best. Like, you're not going to get a better atmosphere than a Le Mans 24 hour. Daytona.
I think by rider he means, is there any particular rider that you think that guy should have gone and done that because he would have been amazing?
Oh, really?
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm reading that wrong.
I'll tell you what, Stevie Bonzi, he was my teammate in 2008, American rider. 2007 was his first year in Grand Prix, but the year before that he was a AMA flat track champion. Went straight to Grand Prix with Red Bull KTM, managed by Kenny Roberts. Never rode a road race bike before. Second year, he was teammates with me. He was front rowing it, top tens.
Wow!
Like, he was the most naturally talented rider I've ever witnessed. Like, you get him on a motorbike, he had so much bike control. He was incredible, but possibly just like the party lifestyle a bit too much. But so talented, like, yeah.
What happened to him?
He went back, done a bit of flat tracking, got injured quite bad, I think. Now I think he's just on a building site in America, I think.
Mad, isn't it?
But yeah, I still stay in contact with him. But he was so talented, great kid. I got along with him like a house on fire. But yeah, he was so talented.
This is just a bit of a follow-on. It's not a Patreon question, but of all the paddocks and of all the periods in your racing career, which one's been like the most enjoyable part?
I would probably the road race paddock's great because everyone's more human.
It's just like a big club racing paddock.
Yeah, it's great. But then the GP paddock, when especially when we was there, well, me and Scott and especially me and Scott, we got along really well, and like the scooters we wrote off, and they were good. Like it was quite a good era. Like it was good. So that was very enjoyable, especially 07 for me was quite difficult because I didn't really know anyone there. Bradley was there, but I didn't really, our personalities just didn't match. But then when Scott was there, it was just like hell.
Lads on holiday.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I imagine Scott was, well, he's loose now, so I can imagine as a kid he was
it was great.
Interesting.
Yeah, we had some good fun. And it was good fun. It was great. So I'd probably say that era of GPs, and then and the road race paddock was great as well. But to be honest, every paddock I've sort of been in, I've always had fun, and you got to surround yourself with good people, haven't you? So, and you make a lot of friends along the way as well. So,
got a question from Chris Turner. I like this one.
Yeah, it's a good one, that, isn't it?
What advice would you give to a young Danny Webb, and which decision do you regret taking or not taking? I like that.
Don't do all the Sunday night parties. I used to take them a bit too far, I think. That is like that. That's one major one, because it got to a point that, and you used to take it so serious, and I think as a rider I used to put a lot of pressure on myself. But then when it got to Sunday night, it was like, yeah, we're going to go and have a party. So
pressure release valve gets pulled.
Didn't press too hard.
I would probably say, if that was the case, if I was to do it over again, and I would have someone come with me again, because a lot of the time I was on my own, and I'd just say, let's go out for a bit of dinner and maybe have a beer or a couple of beers out the way, not right in the centre of the party, and probably getting a bit carried away. But it was good fun.
Danny 2.0.
Yeah. What was the other part of it?
He's just disappeared. He's reminiscing.
Yeah.
Let me read it to you again. What advice would you give to young Danny Webb? Which decisions you regret taking or not taking?
Not taking. So I got offered a management contract from, what company was it? It was Bob Moore's lot. Is it WMS or something like that? That was probably one of the biggest regrets, because now looking back, I just looked at the 25%. Now looking back, all the contacts they've got, when they sign a rider, their sponsors know that rider's obviously got potential, so then the sponsor invests in them quite heavily. They manage a load of top riders, Brad Binder, and they're a big firm. So that's probably one of the mistakes I probably made. I should have maybe gone with that, and it possibly could have extended my GP career, but it might not have. So, but saying that, I've done everything I've wanted to do in the sport, and I've experienced that. I wouldn't have been able to experience the TT without that, because it's not frowned upon. But the move I done, and all I wanted to do was just ride around the TT and experience it, and I've got to do that. So, but yeah, that's probably one of the decisions I should have. I'll go back and change that, definitely.
There was only two more. Let's have a look. Smothering, how do you prepare mentally and physically for an endurance race compared to those other forms of racing, which we we touched on there, didn't we? And Michael Harrison, which is your favourite IRRC track that you raced at? Because they are all a bit fucking loose, them.
Imatra. I liked Sumatra.
Yeah.
Good. Loved it round there. All I wanted to go there was to get me wheeling across the tram lines like Sheena. That's the only reason I wanted to do it. But I love the track. That Horace, that's sketchy. That is sketchy. That's where the car come towards me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that what stopped you from? Was that your deciding moment?
Yeah,
this is not right.
Yeah, because we all know the risks, right? Doing road racing and that, but then when something like that happens, it's
for those that don't know, a vehicle was able to get on the circuit
during a race,
live circuit during a race, and was coming towards you, basically.
Yeah, me and Toddy. Yeah, me and Davey Todd. So, yeah, that was sort of the deciding factor. And Weepole asked me to go World Supersport, so I was a bit like, that's what I'd love to go back and do. So yeah.
Well, mate, I think we better let you get back to building that race team, because we've seen the units looking like a little hive of activity. Yeah, bikes always look ace. So I am going to wrap it up, but bikes look mega when they're all in plain white and brand new, don't they? And you've got one in there. So we'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks to Kevin as well from Stanford, because without him, none of this would be possible. So he really has. Yeah, he's doing us proud, and hopefully we can do him proud as well. So yeah,
I think we all wish the project well, because we want to see Brits succeed.
Yeah.
So it's genuinely mint to see another avenue and a genuine, what it sounds like, a genuine nurturing project as well, to actually not just a conveyor belt, but a genuine nurture. So that's a really cool thing to hear.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks for having us on.
No, thanks. And we'll get you on. You can let us know. We'll get you on in another. We'll do less than 5 years.
Yeah.
And then we'll get an update from you.
Hopefully, bring some of your kids on.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not your kids, but you know what I mean.
We'll bring your kids on if you want.
Well, if it's at BSB and that, Henry's going to be at BSB, so it'd be interesting to get him on after a couple of rounds and see how he feels.
See how the media training went.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To be fair, he's probably better than me. So.
Fantastic.
So just thank you, Danny. Big thank you to our sponsors, OMG Racing and JCT Truck and Trailer. We actually, before this pod, we were taping over someone. I don't know who was there, but we've got a space there now. So if anyone wants to be a pod sponsor, then we've got space on the board.
Get in touch with Grace, and you two can join the board.
Exactly, and we're doing loads of Patreon stuff. So be a Patreon. You get to do loads of cool stuff, and there's going to be loads of giveaways.
Yeah. So joining by being a patron, there's lots of benefits to it. So you get to hear the pod sooner, you get more information, you get access to ask questions to guests such as Danny,
and you get free stuff
and chance to win
potentially
free giveaways. Check out any of the merch. I'm not sure what we've got merch-wise at the minute.
You've got a hat on.
I've got a hat on.
I've got a hoodie on.
You've got a hoodie on. Do you know what?
I spilt toothpaste on it. And then
Ugly & Co. I want to give a shout-out to Ugly & Co. Because they are mega. And I just got another couple of hoodies for some sponsors of mine. And they are mega. I'm hoping they're going to do another run of these. Because I don't...
Well, this is yours. I just found it in the front of my van.
Yeah, I know. Well...
Thank you.
So is that his toothpaste on there?
No, we've got the same one. I genuinely did rub through my own toothpaste. But anyway...
But so thanks guys for listening, and we'll see you all soon.
Later.
Cheers.